All right, welcome back everyone to the fourth and final part of my picks video series for Wildcard Weekend in the 2019-2020 NFL Playoffs pool. The fourth and final matchup of the pool will be the Kelly Waslick Bowl between Chris Barling's team, the number 5 seed Seattle Seahawks, and his brother-in-law, best bartender of all time, Michael Waslick's team, the number 4 seed Philadelphia Eagles. It's called the Kelly Waslick Bowl because, well, if you can't figure that one out, you're just a fucking moron. This game's taking place on Sunday afternoon at 4:40 p.m. on NBC. Spread as of 1:30 p.m. today, Friday, January 3rd, is currently set as the Seahawks favored by 1.5 points on both of the first two sites that I use. Before I get to the preview and the pick, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Crockpot. You guys didn't think I'd actually do one of these 4 previews without mentioning Crockpot, did you? Come on, I'm the Crockpot king. Probably cook up something tasty on Sunday to go along with whatever of my Robbie's Tasty Teases I pick up for the weekend, you know? All right, now for the preview and the pick. The Eagles come into the playoffs riding a hot streak of 4 straight wins, while Seattle's limping in, losing 3 out of their last 4 games and some key players to injury along the way. Eagles went 9-7 on the year and won the awful NFC East, and therefore they are the home team in this matchup. They come in as the number 11th ranked DVOA team, 14th on offense and 12th on defense. They had an expected win total of 9, so they were right on par with what they should have done. Seattle was 11-5 this year, was the 8th ranked DVOA team. They were 5th on offense, 18th on defense. They did have expected wins of 8 this year, so they were 3 games above where they probably should have been, which is alarming. They did play in a lot of close games, so that's part of the factor there. There's no other way of saying it, but both teams are pretty banged up, missing key players. Seattle, the road team in this game, 7-1 on the road this year, including a victory in Week 12 against these Philadelphia Eagles, winning 17-9. Philly, on the other hand, the home team, they were 5-3 at home this year. Eagles have 1 All-Pro player in center Jason Kelce. Seahawks have 2 in quarterback Russell Wilson, linebacker Bobby Wagner. This has been the toughest of the matchups for me to pick this week. Seahawks have played a lot of close games this season. They were 1 yard away from winning the division and having a home game this weekend instead of having to go on the road. They still have a pretty solid core from the team that made it to back-to-back Super Bowls. They have Russell Wilson, who will be second in MVP voting to Lamar Jackson, and they also have back Marshawn Lynch, who shockingly didn't look too bad against a stout 49ers defense last week in his first game all year. Eagles were bad for most of the season, but injuries had a lot to do with that. They are home and they are the hotter team. It's also hard to beat a decent team twice in one season, especially when you're considering both games were on the road. I'm going to have to go here with the quarterbacks. Wilson has been there, he's done that, and he's having a great season. Like I said earlier, probably be second in MVP voting. Wentz had a pretty steady season. He still hasn't regained that MVP form from a few seasons back. That said, I'm going to take the Seahawks, and I'm going to lay the 1.5 points. So that's it for my wildcard weekend picks. Thank you all for tuning in. See you next week for the divisional round.